G'day, take two. G'day, hi, and welcome. Alright, engaging some more pellet. Alright, cool again, I got my sweater on. I'll take it. I'll take it. Oh, such extremes. That nice morning dew. Morning dew like that, that's good for your garden. My garden isn't doing so great this year. Stuff's coming up, but I just I don't know, it's been a very rainy, dark kind of year. Like the hot and the humidity and stuff like that, you know, well, it's like it burnt a lot of stuff, so not everything came up. Also the weeds were like, when I plant my garden, I don't really have a lot of time to tend to my gardens. That's the polite way of putting it. That's the polite way of putting it. And it is what it is. But my horseradish is doing good, and hopefully that'll really root and spread. I got more to get to. I want to get it planted before the fall. That stuff's pretty hardy, so once it plants, once it's in there, it's in there. You better like it, because it's going to be there for life. Well, considering I've dug out the horseradish, oh, I thought a tree fell there. Considering the horseradish, that horseradish right there is about the 4th time I've dug it out. Kids, they don't go outside if, you know, too hot, too cold, whatever. They just don't go outside anymore. Like when I was a kid, like, you know, you're outside morning to night, right? And I said, did you want to go see the chickens? He's like, yeah, sure. So I said, how big do you think they got? Because it's been a couple of weeks since you've seen them. He goes, I said, he was 2 feet tall. I said, what if they were 6 feet tall? And he goes, really? I didn't. No. He's like, no. Because he knows I razz him all the time, eh? And sometimes he's not sure if I'm serious or if I'm joking, right? So he's like, really? Okay, like, kind of doesn't quite trust me, right? So we go see the chickens. I said, watch out for the roosters, because they'll peck your hands like they did mine the other day. The bruise is gone. I thought that was going to last a week there. Bastard got me good, right on the vein too. He didn't draw blood, but he just about, you know. And I was picking up another chicken, and this rooster hit me in the hand. He beat me. And anyway, I got one rooster. It's like, you touch him, he's like, yeah! It's like, he screams bloody murder. All the other ones are fine, but this one, he's like, I don't know, he's like just a pansy or something. I don't know what's wrong with him. You just touch him, he's like, ah! So last night I went to pet him. I pet him while he was at the feeder, and he had his head down. Or not last night, the night before. Anyway, he had his head down, so when I petted him, he went, ah! Like that, and another rooster grabbed him by the cheek and pecked him in the cheek. And then he screamed again. It's like I got him beat up. It's like, sorry, mister. big, so I think this week